I know? No.
Would you like me to do it?
Is this working? Can I have your attention, please? Hi, I'm Savannah Wagner, and welcome to Springdale, and welcome to Awkwardly Awesome Jason Freeman. And I don't call him that, he does. It's the name of his book. So, yeah, a few weeks ago, he came to our lock-in, and, well, by Zoom, but it still counts. And we watched his TED Talk, and then we all had questions, and then all of a sudden, bam, he was right there to answer them. So it was really cool. So if you have any questions, have them ready because he loves answering questions. So at the end, there'll be a chance for you to ask those. So here's Evelyn to more formally introduce Jason. Whenever Jason Freeman speaks to an audience, big or small, young or old, in California, Minnesota, or finally South Dakota, he is 100% committed to bring a speech impediment with him. Jason has written a book called Awkwardly Awesome. He has a TED Talk, and he has a Master of Fine Arts in Poetry. He also has a goal to speak to millions of people in his lifetime. Well, Jason, here we are, and count us all up. Also,
yeah, definitely. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, please silence your phones so we don't have any notifications or no butt calls during this.
Can we please? Joss.
Can we please all give a warm welcome to Jason Freeman?
So, Evelyn. Oh, will you bring Evelyn back on? So I didn't see, you didn't have any notes in your hand? Were you looking at the teleprompter up there?
No, I was not.
So you memorized that?
Mm-hmm.
So my jaw dropped because I haven't even memorized my bio. You're me. So hello. Thank you for all coming. I'm Jason Freeman. I'm originally from South Dakota. I moved to California for 10 years, and then now I'm back. But what you're hearing is neither a Midwestern accent, and it's definitely not a Californian accent. Nope. This is what's called a speech impediment. At least I used to think so. My wonderful folks who are sitting back there started me out right. And they had a lot to deal with right off the bat because I was excited to get into life. Have any of you ever been excited to do something? I was excited to get into life, so I decided to come a few weeks early and surprise my folks in the middle of the night. Surprise! And luckily they had back their heads and got us to the emergency room in time. But in the process, my umbilical cord became kinked like a garden hose, which makes it difficult for me to say the word umbilical. And I developed this pronounced speech impairment and some coordination differences. But this this thing. Didn't you all get the memo? It's the newest thing where all is supposed to go out and buy these just as a fashion statement. So can everyone go ooh la la? Oh, do that once more. That feels so good. So seriously, I know this comes as a surprise, but this is not a fashion statement. So often in life, things happen that we don't predict. Could anyone have predicted 2020? I mean, here we were going, 2019. I got this common struggles, but I'm good. Who's with me? But then 2020 happened, and surprise! There's a whole new ball game in town, and surprise! You guys won't be in school for a while, and hope you like learning from a computer. Well, was that fun? So someone felt it was fun, but here's one person for computers. So and this is, this isn't as significant at all in the range of things that happen in life, but so I decided to walk down a steep hill a week ago. And did I mention it was muddy out? And by the way, there was nothing at the bottom of the hill I needed to get to. If there had been $1 million down there, I would have a good story. But there was nothing. There was nothing down there. I was just doing something, walking down the steep hill. Anyway, I stepped on my ankle wrong, and soon I was on the ground and in the emergency room, and now because of this, I get to sit on a throne, and I'm king now. Oh no, that's not. Oh, I thought they were giving me. Is this from the nativity last? So we have good times in life. My folks started me out right, and as a little kid, I was just comfortable being in my own skin, even though I had the unique voice and the unique walk. I was just, hey, I'm me, and I'm comfortable. I want you all to think of times when you've just been comfortable being you. Maybe it's a short time, maybe it was a long time. But anyway, that's how I was as a little kid. But then in 4th grade, I changed schools. And sorry, you all over there. Yeah, and I haven't looked over that high. So I'm in 4th grade, and the camera's at your high camera. In 4th grade, I changed schools, and you know how sometimes when things change, we suddenly aren't quite as confident as we have been. And anyway, I started playing a bad game. Can anyone guess what that game was? Kind of an off-the-wall question, and you probably wouldn't get it because it's an off-the-wall answer. I started playing the comparison game, where I looked at everyone else and and like, oh, they have it going on. They have it going on. They have it going on. Who has ever played that comparison game? Even once? I think we all have. And I kept getting more insecure and doing less of what I wanted as a kid and thinking I had to do more of what I didn't want. And I forgot to mention there was one big bully during this time who started bullying me in 4th grade, and oh my gosh, he was persistent. Jeremy, did I know you in 4th grade? No, just kidding. Jeremy and I went to high school together. And then he went back in 5th grade. Do you ever go back to school and you think you're going to get a fresh start? Ta-da! But it's just the same bully. And back in 6th grade, in 7th grade, things got so bad that this bully just would not let up and would not say anything positive about me and was focusing on the negative all the time and was making me so lonely and felt like I was the only one who had a challenge. And oh my gosh, it was so unfair that I had a challenge, and the bully was just awful. Do any of you have any idea who this bully was? You can say it again.
You.
Yeah, good job saying it again. Thanks. So everyone all at once. One, on the count of 3, we'll say it was you. 1, 2, 3, it was you. You. Oh, we should have done the gesture too. I wasn't quite that fast. And in the spring of 7th grade year, everything was getting green after a long winter. Are the winters long here or what? I was in California, San Diego for 10 years, and winter in San Diego is nothing like winter in South Dakota. Nothing. You guys on the side, winter in San Diego is nothing like winter here. So it was a beautiful spring day, and my classmates, we were finishing up the semester. Speaking of finishing up the semester, clap your hands. Clap your hands. Raise your hands. Raise your hands if you just got done with school. Let's give them a round of applause. So my classmates were getting ready for summer and thinking of summer sports and swimming and all of that. And meanwhile, all I could think was, I'm awful. I'll never amount to anything. And things are better if I'm not here. Things are better if I'm not here. And those are dangerous words. In spring of that year, I attempted to take my own life because it wasn't because the people around me weren't loving me, that they weren't saying good things about me. I had great parents. I still do. They were supporting me. I had great classmates. Luckily, I made it out of 7th grade by this point, so I don't still have great. But I was closing myself off from all that was around me. My world was becoming smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. Have any? You don't have to raise your hands, but just think about it. Have you ever experienced that where, like, outside the sun is shining and life is continuing, but your world is like you are actively torturing you, for lack of a better word, torturing yourself. And in those points, we feel so isolated and lonely, don't we? And if I could talk with that young person who has such a narrow perspective, such a painful perspective, I would tell him several things. First, I would say, dude, kiddo, I know it seems like you're the only one struggling with things right now, but it's just, it might seem to you like the absolute truth at this moment, but that's just not reality. Everyone, each one of us, I mean, if we had time and we felt totally comfortable, each one of us, we could go around. It would probably take 24 or 48 hours, so we're not going to do that because we all want to eat and sleep. And so, but each one of us has a story of, yeah, that was funny, thank you. No, we all want to eat and sleep, and you smiled, and it was funny, and I saw the smile, and I loved it because it was funny, or at least I thought it was funny. But so thank you. I mean, even though you didn't mean to smile, thank you for having me perceive you. You know what I mean. So anyway, each one of us could go on and tell an important story of challenges and of overcoming and of getting to where we are in life, and we all have them. Even, I mean, when you get to be my age, you somehow think you have a lot because you're older now, and but as younger people, I mean, I know you guys are older than a lot of people, and you all are young old people, young mature people. Is that good? Is that okay? But even all of you have had challenges, and you could tell poignant stories of your challenges and overcoming. So one thing I would tell that kid is that you're not alone, kiddo. And the next thing I would tell that kid is life is about doing our imperfect best. Imperfect best, what does it mean? It sounds like a contradiction. Since some of you watched my TED Talk, you know what it means, but imperfect best means to me that and we each develop our own definition, but that you have the best you want in life in mind, and you go for it. And sometimes accidents happen. Sometimes you make mistakes. Sometimes things you didn't anticipate. Sometimes you're really frustrated, really angry, really afraid. All the human stuff. Hi over there. Yeah, I have to. But so instead of using that stuff to convince yourself that, hey, I'm not good enough, I'm not worthy, I'm not important, enough to do what I want to do, you learn from that stuff and you take a step forward. And then the third thing is it's so hard when we feel so isolated, when we're self-bullying ourselves to reach out. But reaching out and saying to someone, hey, I'm really hurting. Hey, things aren't going well. And someone who you trust is a good start. It could be either family or friends, and sometimes we're like, oh, but I don't want to burden them with my struggles. But you know what? Good people not only want to help, but people are relieved when you share what you're going through, because it means that they're not alone when they go through things. So actually, actually it can be a fairly bonding experience for all involved, and crucially, it gets you connected, which is so important. And then, I know sometimes we don't feel like reaching out to friends or family, but there's a few other options. School counselors who are there, it's their job not only to help you plan for your future, but to help young people. I only, when I say kids, it's only because I'm saying something about my age. I'm not saying anything else besides about my age. Yeah, so that's the only reason. But so school counselors, and also now we're lucky we have the internet in terms of can search for answers, can search for a support group, search for suicide crisis helplines. And there's one local one I want you to remember. It's 211. Just dial 211, and it connects to the helpline. It seems like magic, but I don't think it is. So can everyone say dial 211? Dial 211. Dial 211. And that brings up my final point, and then I'm going to open it up for questions. But the last thing that I didn't get when I was going through that left is what my folks said to me when best me. Best you. Each of you are the best. Not just trying to fill you with fluff. Think about it. You are the only you that has existed throughout time. There's never been an exact Camp Judson. What's her name? Melinda. There's never been an exact Melinda before you, and there will never be one after. And the same goes for each of us. So since you are unique, it means you can do something on this earth that no one else can throughout time. And it can be confusing to find what it is, and it can take some doing, and it's a journey, and the answers often do not come right away, but the answers out there. And I know for myself, each and every day, I'm doing my imperfect best to continue to find more and more what is uniquely mine to do. And maybe part of it's wearing this crown, but I think it's more than that. So with that, please raise your right arm. Please, everyone, this is important. Please raise your right hand. Please raise your right pointer finger. In a loud voice, say, I love you, right pointer finger. I love you. Oh, yeah. I love you, right pointer finger. I love you, right. Oh, yeah. I love you, right pointer finger. I love you, right pointer finger. And even louder, point at your heart and say, I am the best. I am the best. I am the best. I am the best. Yes, you are. Thanks so much for being you, and thanks for all the challenges you go through. Thanks for all the obstacles you navigate, and just thanks so much for being you. Yeah, it's a good cut if you want. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for starting that off. And by the way, shout out to this row and these two rows, right? You just got out of school and you're doing what? Like hanging out and playing video games? You're doing what? Which means like helping other people, right? Oh, yeah. Well, thanks for doing all you're doing. So with that, does anybody have any questions? Anybody? I don't know why I'm looking at these two rows, but oh yeah. Hi.
You sort of forgot about me. Thanks.
Yeah. I'm remembering now.
What do you love about not taking yourself so seriously?
What do I love about not taking myself so seriously? Good question, by the way. So I'll get to your question by next. I want to remember this one first, but I'm getting to yours next. So when I took myself seriously, and believe me, I know it's hard to see now that I would take myself seriously, especially I have a button that came unbuttoned, and I mean, you're like, does this dude ever take himself seriously? But I used to be a super serious person, and just found out that it made me more and more miserable. And so I love feeling happy and not being miserable. So yeah, that's what I love about not taking myself so seriously. And now there's a question somewhere back there. Yes, ma'am.
What do you like about you?
What do I like about me? That's such a good question, and it's a question we don't ask ourselves enough. How often do you go ye? What's your name? No, you who started the clapping. how often do you go, yo, Sam, what do I like about me? Yeah, I don't either, and it's so good because it gets, there's so much power in asking a question because we can ask, what do I not like about myself all day long? And we'll come up with a list of answers, and we'll be like, do I have more people? Oh my gosh, what do I like about me? Well, I like that I keep going. I like that I'm happy. I like that I'm always finding out new things about myself. Great question. Thank you. What's your name? Let's give Violet a round of applause. And retroactive applause. Disclaimer, I'm not good at remembering names. Remind me of your name. Shyla. And then we're Shyla at the login too, right? You didn't change your name, So, sure, let's give Shyla a round.
I have a question for you. You talk a lot about self-bullying. Do you ever just look in the mirror and say, hey, bully, look at me now?
Oh, that.
Because honestly, it's pretty impressive, Jason.
That would be really. I love the idea of looking in a mirror and. So everyone, yeah, Heather, right? Oh, thank goodness. So everyone, hold up your hand, and so it's a mirror, and first of all say ooh la la. And then say, hey, bully, look at me now. That felt kind of good. That's fun. I've never thought of that. And this is how things are. Like, we don't have to figure out any of this life. We don't have to figure out any of it ourselves. We have, like I've been doing this for 10 years and just Bila had a question, Shyla had a great question, and Heather gave me a new activity. And so just I encourage you to constantly learn from everyone around you. You don't have to be in school to learn. So your name is Dan. I am wrong. It's Matt. Am I close? Austin. Anthony. Your name's Violet too. But Violet with an A, huh? So what's your name? Aiden. Oh, yeah, I was not close. Another great question. See now, like we could all have come in here and I could have talked for whatever long about everything that's wrong with the world, and you all could have chimed in, but now we have good questions coming. I mean, uplifting questions. What do I love about myself? I love that I'm me. I love that I'm me with this exact voice, this exact coordination, this exact temporary stylish walking boot. I love that I'm me. Now, next question, Team Springdale. You're going to have to chime in here. Oh my gosh. Lincoln's a good school. Sure. See, I am psychic, or else I read your show. And I bet you've been to Camp Judson. Oh, cool. Nice.
My question is, where did you find the strength to go through such hard times and finding yourself before positive?
It's a great question. So, I mean, frankly, a lot of it's community. My parents, my teachers. After my hard time in 7th grade, I went to a counselor for a while. About 10 years ago, I was walking with my aunt and uncle, and they said, "Jason, you should try yoga," and I scoffed at it. But about 6 months later, I tried yoga, and they were right. So much of it is from the community and the dialogue. That this is a huge part of the reason I'm so excited about tonight, because the Team Springdale Youth brought me here, and not only for me to talk, but to have this conversation about these important things. Did that answer your question? Oh, Violet has another question. What do I like about my family? Violet has great questions. Sometimes in life you get extremely fortunate, and an example is I was born to two brilliant parents, two very, very kind people who saw the best in me and challenged me to rise to the best, and they're so great. And if you haven't met them, afterwards go up and say hi. They're a little shy sometimes, but I still go up and say hi. So let's give my mom and dad, Mary and Jay, a round of applause. Next question. Oh, yeah.
What was the weirdest thing you played with when you were a kid?
So I didn't expect that question. But that's very creative, because you mean like long things, and when people have shoes, they use them to tie up shoes. So I did love playing with shoestrings. Did anyone else play with shoestrings as a kid? By a show of hands. Really? Shoestrings! Yeah, I just love walking around the feel of shoestrings in my hand and just pretending and imagining what life could be. Yay for shoestrings, and yay for that question. What? Oh yeah. My brother.
What do you do, and how do you feel when you realize you're being too hard on yourself?
I never absolutely, great question. I never absolutely love it, but I'm grateful to notice when I'm being hard on myself, because to notice it as soon as I can, and and I used to get all frustrated and want to go to war and say and start to fight the bully and start to kick him. Maybe that's how I broke my. but now I'm experimenting with more and more noticing when I get hard on myself and noticing what the voice is saying and mining it for wisdom. Does it have anything of value for me? And if it does, I take that wisdom and say thank you. And then I try to just let it be and move forward. And it's not always easy just to let the voice be and move forward. Nope. Because the voice will probably just come back. So you might have to do the same thing again and again and again and again. Yes, I love it. Another question.
If you had the chance, would you sit down with your childhood bully and have a talk?
Yeah, for sure. But that means I should know right now some great thing to say to the bully. I think I would thank him for always being with me and wanting, in a certain sense, to protect me from life. And so in that way, he deserves my thanks. But I would also ask him to be gentle and be kind, because I would say I want to go for my dreams. So I would ask him to please give me useful information, but also be gentle and kind about it. And I'm not sure he's capable of listening to that, but it's worth a try. Next question.
Hi, Jason. You mentioned that you've been doing this for 10 years. I'm curious to know, what have you changed your mind on?
In 10 years of speaking, well, so when I started to speak, I felt a lot like it was me up front having to tell this amazing story and having to just be so impressive and know all the answers and be like, listen to me, I'm the one with the donkey. and that's how it was. Because, I mean, we've all had so many lectures throughout our lives. And I was just giving another one, granted with a very unique accent. But now I envision my voice more as and my story more as a catalyst to start a discussion like we're having right now. So great question. What's your name? Stacy? Molly. The other Stacy. Violet.
What else are you going to ask him?
What do you think about yourself?
What do I think about myself? Great question. And if you're anything like me, you think all different kinds of things about yourself during a day, during any given day. But more and more I try to sort out the bully voice from the voice that wants my best, from the voice that's trying to inspire me, and try to notice the thoughts and act on the ones I want to act on instead of just hearing the next thought and go, oh, and running off with it. Not that I could run off with it at the moment, but by the way, I have no idea what this is, but I love playing with it. Yeah, yes. He was just stretching. Oh, sorry, I should have pointed.
What do you have?
Oh, okay.
Oh, what do I have?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I have. You can't sign it because it's not a Catholic. Oh, okay. You've been wanting to ask a question for a while.
When you feel bad, sorry, I have to remember. When you feel bad about yourself, why is it so important to stay positive?
I would say it's a great question. I would say to notice the feeling bad and then and not necessarily force yourself to be positive right away, because you know the part of you that's feeling bad would just probably say, nope, not feeling positive right away. But more notice of feeling bad and listening to it and knowing it won't last forever, and then also knowing I want to take little steps towards feeling better. Like, what's the next small step I can take to feel just a little better? And the part of yourself that feels bad might be like, but what will a small step do? Do you ever think that? What will a small step do? But think about this. A small step in the direction you want to go is worth, it gets you farther than 10,000 steps in a direction you don't want to go. And it's, what we're talking about is simple, but it's not always easy. But I'm glad we're talking about it because it's so important. But I never want to make it sound like, that's all is just easy and just snap your fingers and feel better and start singing and start miraculously walking. And yeah. I'm not going to be miraculously walking in the next 10 minutes. So if you came for that, sorry.
So what exactly in your life do you think was the biggest, moment or choice that made you change your way of thinking?
There's been a lot. But about 12 years ago, I was sitting with my friend Ina Lucas in her car, kind of complaining. Do any of you ever complain to friends? Yeah, it's something we all do sometimes. I was complaining about my voice probably, and I would be so much further as a speaker if I didn't have a speech and better, on and on. And she turned to me and she's like, Jason, your voice is anyone know what she said? Oh yeah. Gift. Yeah, and it seems so simple, right? From now, but at the time I was like, what? this voice that I've spent so much energy hating is a gift. Well, but she was right, and that set me on a new trajectory. So instead of walking further down the path where I didn't want to go, I started taking small steps, and now really small steps on the way I do want to go. Yes.
Why is it important to share our struggles with the people we trust?
I love the question. It's so important. Why is it important to share struggles with the people we trust? For a few reasons. Just like I talked about with Ina giving me a new perspective on my voice, when we share struggles, the people we trust can give us new perspectives. For example, I was going along in life thinking people hated the sound of my voice. And then I began sharing with people I trust that I thought that, and came to the conclusion eventually that guess there was only one person on earth who really hated the sound of my voice. Guess who that was? You're on a roll. Oh wow, you're great at this. And so one reason is new perspective, but the other reason is when we share our struggles with them, we help them, we help free them up to share their own struggles and to know that they're not alone with their own struggles and to relate. I mean, how many people, like you are relating to me and my speech impediment, and it's not because you have a speech impediment, but because you've had struggles of your own. And struggles, there's a mutuality about struggles. They look a billion different ways and have a billion different or a trillion different stories, but there's but we all know what it's like to struggle, and so when someone shares a struggle with us, some part of us is like, oh, thank goodness, we're not alone feeling awkward, we're not alone feeling afraid, we're not alone feeling stressed out. Does that answer your great question? Thank you, Kim. Taylor. Lane? Liam. Thank you, Liam. Thank you so much.
Was there someone or something that inspired you to start speaking?
The great question. So I kind of got the idea of in my head from a variety of things, but this is the power of the audience. So I had the idea that I wanted to speak, but I didn't have any confidence behind the idea. You know, when you have an idea of wanting to do something, but yet part of you is like, no. I want to do that, but no. But I spoke to this group in Estes Park, Colorado at the All American Laughter Yoga Conference. And as I spoke, they poured energy into me, just like you are all doing. And after that, I wanted to be a speaker. And I thank you all, because you're all pouring that type of energy into me. I hope I'm giving some out, but you're definitely giving to me. So thank you. So who's next? Oh,
Up here.
lot of people. Oh, he has a mic, and then to you guys.
All right. So it sounds like in the 10 years you've been doing this, like you've done this TED Talk and you've achieved so much. What keeps you like motivated? Like what kind of goals and stuff keeps you doing what you're doing today?
Great question. So, there's just so, and the motivation keeps expanding the more I go, but what's keeping me motivated now is there's so much need for this type of conversation, and that it doesn't have to be so serious. Now we're going to talk about loneliness. Now we're going to talk about bullying. Now we're going to talk about proactive suicide prevention. But there can be a lightheartedness to it, and in the lightheartedness, it's more fun, but also it gives us it gives us new questions, and then we think of new solutions when we're not so stuck in that serious space. Does that make sense? Thank you. And then these two rows, you need to get the mic next, because it seems like the mic is the key to asking a question. I don't make these rows, sorry.
Do you ever get bored?
Do I ever get bored? You know, there was a time in my life that I think I did, but now when I feel myself getting bored, like having this, I'm sitting around a lot more than I'm used to, but I just, there's so much life to do and so many things to experience in lawn. I just search for a new thing to experience in lawn. So I haven't been bored in a long time. And when I find sorry, just and when I find myself getting bored, I just make up a joke and try to make myself laugh. Even if the people around me don't always laugh, but okay. Thank you for your patience. I mean, you're a champion, you're a hero. You've been so patient, and now I should be quiet so you can actually. Oh, do you have a question? Okay, you can speak.
Who is the person to help you through the hard times?
So some of them are here. My mom and my dad. Jeremy Lawson was always kind to me in high school. And Heather was too, and I know a lot of the rest of you, all of the rest of you would have helped me through hard times if you had known me back then. Thanks for coming. Okay. Great.
What do you do when you feel lonely? What do you do when you feel lonely?
It's kind of weird speaking into a mic and hearing that noise. Yeah. What do I do when I feel lonely? There's This Willie Howen is a so sometimes I phone a friend. As cliche as it sounds, sometimes I just go for a walk. I mean, not now, but and find things I find beautiful to take pictures of. I notice the loneliness and accept it, but then I try to move myself in the direction I want to go. It's not always easy. Thanks for the great question. Remind me of your name. Ariana. I'll give Ariana a hand. Ariana, what are you most excited about doing this summer? Nothing. Well, it'll be a beautiful summer. Thank you, Ariana. Thank you so much. Oh, sir. Give this guy a mic. Oh, you have it. You have the mic.
What do you do in your free time?
What do I do in my free time? I love to watch comedy on YouTube. And there's this thing called dry bar comedy, which is, you've heard of it? It's so good. It's clean comedy. You can look it up, and they have these stand-up comedians, and they have to be clean to be accepted. But they're so good, they're so creative, they're so funny. So I like comedy, and I love walking around and taking photos. Usually. And I mean, you're probably about tired of boot jokes, but yeah, I have like 40 some thousand photos on my phone, which is a lot, huh? And I love writing, and I love having a podcast, and someone else has a mic back there.
All the bad times that your bully gave you, have you ever thanked him for anything?
Great. And I don't know that I have. Should I do that right now? Everyone say, thank the bully, thank the bully. Oh, well, okay. So, bully, thank you for being with me all this time, for never giving up on me, for always having an opinion, and for being critical. I haven't always enjoyed the critical things you've said, but you've given me a unique perspective, and thank you for giving me the freedom not to always follow your perspective. I don't know that you gave me that freedom. I took it. Well, thank you. Who helped me thank the bully? Thank you.
Any last questions?
My favorite joke. Oh my gosh. You mean one that I made up? What's my favorite joke? You put me on the spot. Made me blush. What? Hey, oh my gosh. Knock, knock, knock. The Springdale Youth. The Springdale Youth are so amazingly awesome. They got me here. They got all of us here. They put this all together. They just took care of us all. So good. Let's give them a round of applause. So yes, that was an utter and complete cop-out on the joke thing, but I couldn't think of anything. Great.
Thank you, Jason, for coming out to talk to everyone here, and thank you all for coming to talk to Jason.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
What's your name?
Liam.
Oh, like you just said that like a minute ago. So one thing when I'm up speaking, Liam, I don't remember people's names. So what's tell me about the summer for you. What are you excited to do?
Baseball.
Baseball?
Yeah.
Do you have a lot of games?
I'm on 2 teams. So.
Oh, wow. You guys are super busy. Yay. Yay. Thanks, Liam.
Thank you, Jason. Indeed. Well, I'm Pat Eidsness. I'm the interim pastor here. And in addition to, I did not want to, but they were pretty cute on you.
Yeah.
In addition to thanking Jason for coming and being willing to share his story, I need to thank our kids. Seriously, did they do a nice job? They may be small in number, but they're mighty. And not only the kids of this place, but seriously, the adults here, the leadership who encouraged them and supported them and, showed up. All these adults that showed up too. It's a pretty awesome place. So if you're ever looking for a church home or someplace just to visit, you will be welcome and have a wonderful time coming here. And I think that maybe let's just all stand and I'll send you off with a blessing. Can we do that?
Can I sit?
You may sit. And there are others who may sit. Stand if you're able, sit if you prefer. That's just fine. All right. And now may our Creator God, who made you just as you are, who loves you just as you are, who continues over and over to forgive you, may that God go with you now. Give you the power to not only forgive and love others, but to forgive and love yourself. Go now with God. And all God's people said,
Amen.
Thank you all for coming.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to put you on the spot.